got this 2-bit team over here that just can't keep anything straight. All right, now we got sound.
How's the audio now? We good to go?
Now we got sound.
So, yeah.
Okay, now we've got our audio back.
Thank
Take
Lord
two.
Thank the Lord you guys didn't hear any of that.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Shenanigans.
Wah, 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 wah.
All right, so anyway, Brandon, Pat, Josh, and we have a lot of Ryan's down there doing his thing. And we have a lot of show for you guys tonight. A lot of interesting stuff going on here. Don't forget to leave us some questions and comments as we go throughout the show this evening on any of the topics that we're going to be discussing tonight. Any new business that you guys want to get into right off the top?
Well, we do have another sponsor of our live stream.
By all means.
It's the same sponsor.
The same sponsor.
Z-Bart.
Okay.
What?
Again.
We owe them multiple sponsor spots.
Nice.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Z-Bart, official sponsor of tonight's live stream, multiple locations, Western New York wide, Buffalo,
Canandaigua, Rochester,
Canandaigua,
Jamestown,
Batavia,
Buffalo.
all over the place. They can help you with multiple things related to cars, namely the famous Z-Bart undercoating and the famous Rhino liners for those of you that buy trucks without a liner.
Another big
I don't know
one.
what that's like because I drive a Toyota Tacoma. So.
Another big one here locally, right, is the remote starters, right? The keyless starters.
Especially
to
now,
run
yeah.
your cars.
So nice.
Yeah, very handy.
Perfect
right?
time for that.
Absolutely. So yeah, check
Thank
out
you,
Z-Bart for all of those types of needs for your autos. All right.
We had a little event this past Saturday. Why don't we talk about that?
We did have
We
an
had a lot
event.
of fun, and I think we had a lot of people engage with that. And we had a great time, and we raised a lot of money for an amazing local group.
Yeah.
Josh, why don't you talk about that a little
So
bit?
some of you may have even watched, but last Saturday we had a live stream to support a local not-for-profit called Operation Build Up. And this was to kind of go off of last year's big event, which we called the 22 to None Fun Run. So this was our second annual 22 to None Fun Run, which we had to do virtually because of all of the mandates coming down from Lord Cuomo. So we didn't get to have a cool party like we did last year, but we still made it fun. We still made it happen. We still gave it that classic TFP flair.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we were live streaming from 11 to about 3. Me and the guys were here, and we were just talking about why we do what we do. Like why we raise money, stuff like that. I played a couple tunes you may have seen there. I had my 6-string out, played a couple songs, try to keep you guys entertained.
Had some four-legged friends.
We did.
We had four-legged and two-legged family members
We
show
did.
up.
There were children that made an appearance.
Had a lot
Loki.
of fun.
Loki the Malinois, he came out and gave his best effort on a little 7 or 8K fun run.
It just killed us. You showed up, and the dog was just full of energy. Obviously,
He just wanted to go, man.
all right, let's go do a quick, couple 2-3 miles or whatever. You came back, the dog was still I think the dog had more energy than that was just warming him up.
That guy's on 11
Yeah.
the whole time.
You showed that video of him dragging the tire.
Yeah.
That was
Strong. Fucker.
what class is he going to be
Terrifying.
in for the tactical games?
The
Is there a
elitist
pupper?
of the
Is there a
elite.
pupper? Pup class.
The elitist.
Nice.
You better
We
get that
got,
guy puppers.
Do we have a total? I don't know if we have an actual total. It was over 5, right?
It's over 6.
Oh,
Hit our
So
$6,000 mark, right?
with the
That's
one
right.
that we got from JM,
Yes.
which we should plug them as well.
Absolutely.
They gave us $500 while we were doing the live stream. So we ended up raising around $6,500.
That's awesome. That's
And
absolutely awesome.
all of that money will go towards free cars, free houses,
dogs.
for,
for veterans.
struggling vets.
Yeah.
So that's what we care about.
Yeah, we did a lot of good with that event. So we felt good about it. We had an opportunity to talk to Justin for a good while. About
That was
the
cool. I was
missions
glad
and
he could
stuff.
stay for the whole time.
He was here the whole time. Yeah, that was great to have Justin here. And we will be doing another, like smaller thing once we get like the big fake check. You know how we love big fake checks. So we're gonna do another little publicity stunt here after that.
Very cool.
It's a fun time though. Fun time. And we had multiple donations from customers during that. I mean, from everything from like $5 to $10. We had several $100 donations, like just awesome. And obviously it's amazing anytime to see that type of generosity, but especially right now with everything going on, like the people can still reach into their pockets and see some good in the world and try to help be a part of that good positivity.
Absolutely, right? Because everybody's got their own stuff going on personally, right, with family members and whatever else. And so when they're able to come together as a community and support something, bigger than themselves, that's a really big deal for us.
Right.
That's good stuff.
Love it.
What happened is probably lots of people got some money back when they went to return their 23-pound turkey.
Yes, you can't have that.
A smaller turkey.
Right. You can't have that.
We're all about staying compliant.
I know we try to, stay out of that as much as we can, but I'll tell you, it really burned me the other day when Cuomo had that press release. And I mean, I posted on my, those of you that are friends with me privately, like I posted it on my personal Facebook page, just basically like Western New York has not felt the wrath of COVID, and basically he was basically saying he wishes we would feel it, instead of praising us for, maybe, we've done a good job of managing with some of these things. And we've done what you wanted us to do and we've managed it, but no, he just slammed us. And that really, everything that guy does torques me the wrong way.
And then gave himself a raise.
Oh, of course. Yeah. You're going to take that all day.
Especially if you're running a $14 billion deficit, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you deserve an additional $25,000 in your own pocket. So
right.
That's a good deal.
Especially when you're you have all the power of the legislature now too.
Right.
Like there's none of that. Yeah, we'll be here all night if we keep talking about that. I'm sure the comments are.
We should read his book.
Defending him. Yeah.
Just kidding.
Oh man, we've gotten some. Well, we got some ammo in, and then zoomed right out.
Why don't we talk about JM?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually J and M. J ampersand M. But they are in Batavia, right on Route 5, across from where like the Genesee County Fair happens from. They're like over there.
Yeah, sort of kitty corner.
Country Line Electric is over there too for use. They're another. Mostly it's going to be our contractors, our construction guys. They're going to know them. We bought, those of you that have helped me out at Polar Wave, one of our favorite toys is our telehandler. We have a Terex TH6 something turbo, big forklift basically, right? And I bought it from them. They were awesome. They're definitely Second Amendment guys over there. And we've traded here and there. Like I bought that telehandler, and you don't read the manual or anything when you buy it. No matter what it is, you don't read the manual. No. I was using it incorrectly, and I'm an honest guy. I just tell them they were like, "What'd you do to this thing?" And I was like, "Oh, I was doing this." They're like, "Yeah, you can't do that. Like you're gonna break it." Which I did, and racked up quite a repair bill. And they were just like, you know what? Like we're local businesses. Like we got to help each other out, because Polar Wave, we're trying to get that going. It's not like we're just millionaires. We're not Tom Golisano where I can just snap my fingers and make it happen, So yeah, they're huge Second Amendment supporters. Just a really good local shop. Telehandlers, lifts, scissor lifts, man lifts, all those kind of articulating lifts. Great sales and service, and they'll come to you. You know what I mean? Like it's expensive to move those things.
A lot of nice people work there.
Yeah, just super nice folks. That I had one experience with Adam, like the salesman over there, and we swap cell phone numbers and we stay in touch still. And if he can help me out with something, he does. If I can help him out with something, just those good relationships that we love to see. So yeah, they were a $500 donor to the mission that we were doing.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, it's huge.
Thanks for the support.
So jealous of Adam. He got called for grand jury with me.
Mm-hmm.
He was there. He was like, "No, I have to travel for work." So I was like, he got out of it.
Should have pulled that.
He got out of it, and I'm stuck there for the rest of my life.
Oh my gosh! Thank you thank you though for your civic duty.
Stuck there for the rest of my life.
Getting to judge people downtown.
So you know who like actually built like where they are, right? On Route 5 there.
I think I do, but why don't you say? I think I do know.
My grandpappy.
Yeah.
My grandpappy built that
Hawkins
building.
Auto, right? Well,
it
I don't
was-
know what it's called.
It was on my mom's
Okay.
side, so McGregor, Scottish, hefty Scottish name. I forgot what kind of cars he sold. Some kind of Pontiac, I think. Yeah. What was popular in the '60s? Pontiacs were pretty popular. Yeah.
Studebaker.
I believe
maybe?
it was.
I have no idea.
I believe it was a Pontiac dealership.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah,
Very
a
cool.
little piece of Hawkins family history.
Pretty
local history.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. So, guys, I don't know if you heard, I signed up yet last night for the Heartbreak Run and Gun
What?
down in Kentucky. So
That'll be cool.
Yeah, so myself and Steve Filano, who you guys also know,
yeah.
who some
I've
of you
heard of
folks
him.
out there may know.
Steve.
Felonious Steve, right? So myself and Steve, we both logged on to our practice score accounts last night. And it was 8:00 when the sign-ups opened, for the registration for the event. Because you were there.
I was trying to
log in
register too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got onto my practice score, and it's like 7:59, right? And then my phone says 8 at the top, but down here on practice score, it still says registration will open in 1 minute. So I was like, oh, hell no. I hit the refresh button. By the time my screen refreshed, there were only 48 slots available.
What?
Out of the like 80 slots that they had
Jeez.
initially.
Jeez.
So I was like furiously like typing all of my information in. I got it all in there and I hit the submit. And I got like 4 emails in a row, one from the Bluegrass Rod and Gun Club where the event's going to be held. They confirmed my registration. I got the one from Practice Score. I got the personal management link from Practice Score. And then I got a message from Steve, and he was like, hey, man, I'm on the wait list.
Ah!
Well, no, I'm sorry. His first text message said, did you sign up for the Heartbreak or the Heartbreak Plus? And I was like, well, the Heartbreak Plus was the top one, so that I just signed up for that because that's the best one, so that's what I want to do, right?
I was trying to sign up for light or light plus.
Yeah.
Dude, but you've never done anything like that before, so if it's going to be your first time, like you don't want to jump right into the deep end of the
Get my
pool,
toes
right?
wet,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely, right? So you want to start somewhere, right? So that would have been cool. But so I signed up for Heartbreak Plus, and then Steve said, like, I tried to sign in there and I couldn't do it. I'm on the wait list. And so he like emailed the match director directly. He was like, hey, I'm trying to sign up for this event. Myself and my buddy, we're going to come down together, and we're traveling. And the guy was like, dude, we sold out those slots like in a minute and 30 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
So the registration
stuff
was
to get
completely full. Like immediately.
It's awesome.
Right. So he's trying to figure out right now how they can open up more slots.
Now, is that a tactical game event? Is that something?
It's something completely separate
Same
from
idea,
the
kinda,
tactical
but-
games. It's very similar. So it's more.
It's on a mountain, right?
Yeah, it's on a mountain in Kentucky. They have a Facebook page. It's the Heartbreak RNG page.
Not a lot of info out there, though.
There's not a ton of information on
website,
there. There's no website.
It's a lot like Shooter's Gauntlet. It's just kind of.
Yeah, I wish they
if
had
you
more.
know about it, you know about it. But
right.
You got to be in the know
otherwise,
to know kind of
It's
deal.
kinda awesome.
But yeah, so it's a 7-mile race. They say it's going to be 1,000 feet of elevation change throughout the course of that 7 miles. I was looking at some of the video content that's out there on the course, and based on the little snippets that I saw, it didn't look like there was like one significant like grade, like one really steep
Right.
change in elevation. I think it's just kind of
Yeah,
gradually
I watched
like
that too.
rolling,
Sure.
kind of thing. But looks like a pretty neat event. It's going to be the last weekend in February. So the plan is
27th-ish.
27th is the event. So Thursday is the 25th. We want to leave on Thursday the 25th, go down to Chattanooga, Tennessee, hang out with some of my boys that are out there because I got
Nice.
like 3 or 4 guys that I
Nice.
served with
Good.
that are all local together, living right in Chattanooga.
They're gonna get you with that picture again.
Oh, they're going to get me. Yeah,
It's gonna be a cardboard cutout, like when he walks in.
I don't know what's going to happen. We are going to get after it, though. I know that. And then,
Don't get after it too hard. You got a race.
right? So then race day is Saturday. So we'll go to Kentucky like for, Friday sometime and bed down and get up early and go do the race. And then Saturday, probably hang out overnight in Kentucky and drive back early on Sunday. So a nice little 4-day.
I like
weekend
that
event.
area.
Yeah, no, I haven't been down to Tennessee or Kentucky to like actually hang out. I've spent a little bit of time in like North Carolina and stuff like that. But I love every place I've been on the East Coast, man. I really enjoy all of those coastal states. So I'm looking forward to getting back there and spending some time with the boys. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. Double fisted.
So yeah, that's going to be a good event. I'm very excited about it. So I wanted to use that opportunity to talk about the Heartbreak run and gun, and I also wanted to talk to you guys a little bit tonight about fitness, right, in general, because I've been getting a lot of messages from guys that are, you know, either competed in the tactical game skirmish event that we did recently, or just people that I know that follow me on like social media and stuff like that, or, you know, people that know what I like to do in my spare time, right? To try and stay active and fit and all that stuff.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it's really not a good life choice that I've made for myself, but
I personally know a lot about fitness.
Right. Yeah.
Fitness whole pizza.
Fitness whole beer in my belly. Yeah.
So, but I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that, right? And I wanted to talk to you specifically about some of the stuff that I try to look at when I'm coming up with a fitness plan, and some of the ways that you guys can try and help yourselves as you're trying to figure out where to get started, right? So I am big, as you guys know, in principles-based training, right? Like everything that I do, I want it to be based in specific foundational principles that are going to be the same all the time, right? Because if it's something that has a good foundation like that, if it's not rooted in fads and trends and things that are changing all the time, right? Things that endure, that are principles based like that, they stick around for a reason.
Makes sense.
Right? You can build on top of those.
Right.
things.
You can generally build on top of those things, and they're always going to be there, right? So for me, I remember when I was a young soldier in the Army, one of the first things that we learned in terms of fitness was the acronym Proverbs. Right. So whenever you're constructing a fitness program, there are specific principles that you want to be looking at. Namely, they are progression. Right. I want to make sure that my fitness program has some sort of progression, meaning something that I can measure, something that's objective, and something that as I am moving down this path, I'm going to see some progress down that road. Right. So we want progression because we want to know where we're at and we want to know where we're going, and am I getting closer to my goal, right? We want to have regularity, right? So regularity means that I don't do this, working out stuff once a week or twice a week, right? Or 3 times. I want to do it 4, 5, 6 times a week. I want to be on it, as often and as regularly as possible. That's going to give me a routine, and it's going to make sure that my fitness is never taking a huge nosedive, right? I want to have some days where I go and overload, right? So I want to make sure that there are days, and it could be, when we're talking about overloading, we're not talking about just big heavy weights, right? We're talking about big heavy weights could be a way to overload time, right? So if it's cardio, instead of doing a 30-minute cardio workout, I might do a 60-minute cardio workout as part of that overload principle to really demand a lot out of my body, right? So we can go with weight, we can go with as many reps as possible, as many rounds as possible in a given period of time. So we can go like work over time to get that overload principle, or we can just do time, or we can just do the amount of weight that we're moving, right? Sets and reps, whatever. But we want to figure out what is my like normal routine. And then if I want to do an overload day, how do I, go a little bit above and beyond? Variety. Right. So I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing, I'm incorporating something in there to keep my body guessing and keep adapting, right? Because your body gets into these routines, and that's when we start to like plateau, right? So if I have some variety to my program, that means I'm not doing the same thing, 5 days in 1 week. I'm going to do a couple of different things throughout the week to try and mix it up. I want to have some time for recovery in there, right? Because your body is going to see the most benefit from exercise when it's not actually exercising, right? Because you're going to have an opportunity for your body to adapt and to change and to heal, right? And to get stronger as you're going through this workout. So it's important. That's why I work out 5 or 6 days instead of 7 days, right? Because every single week I want to give myself one opportunity for my body to just kind of take it easy and to adapt to some of these new
I've got that one down.
Okay,
that
good.
One,
So
I've got that one.
So we just got to incorporate some of these other ones, and we'll be good to go.
It feels good. You got to start somewhere.
Absolutely. Okay. So your principles based. I love it.
I'm so proud of you, man.
So then from there, from variety and recovery, right, we move into balance, right? So whatever I'm doing, I don't want to be lifting big, heavy weights all the time. I don't want to be doing just cardio, right? I want to have some way to keep those things balanced, right? So when I was a young guy that was in the military, just before I transitioned out.
Face pony soldier.
Yep. Back in 2011, right? I was getting ready to get out, and I spent a lot of time in the gym. And I spent a lot of money on supplements to help me put on a lot of muscle. But I spent a lot of time just trying to get big and thick, right? So I weighed like 220 pounds. Like right now I weigh like 175.
Sure.
I weighed like 220 pounds, but obviously I was like the same height and stuff.
Yeah.
I was just like, beef. But I couldn't move, right? Because I didn't have good balance. So if I would have had better balance, I would have been more, complete in terms of my fitness.
Sure.
And then lastly is specificity, right? So I need to specify what things I'm working toward, and I need to have some way to, again,
set some goals,
measure, and to be able to set some goals, right? So if I'm not specifying what it is that I'm trying to achieve, then I have no real way to look back at where I started and say, have I moved any closer to what I set out to do?
So, and like you have to set, like a goal that is actually like in sight. Like for me, I'd like to maybe get down to like 220 or so. I'm like 245 right now. Okay?
So setting a weight loss goal would be a good way to get started, right?
I would set my goal at like 235. Right.
So I want to drop this first 10 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be a good way.
Because if I say, well, I want to get to like 200, and that's my goal. Like my goal is 200. Well, but it's going to take a while.
It's going to take a long time.
Slow.
And what are the waypoints in between there, right? Like, how do we know that we're on pace? Right?
If I only set that goal, it is much, much easier to fall off of the wagon, so to speak. Right.
Sure. Because you're going to start looking down the road. And you're going to say, okay, it's been 3 weeks. My goal is to lose 45 pounds. In the 3 weeks, I've only lost 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, that means if I extrapolate that, it's going to take me 27 weeks potentially to lose 45 pounds. I don't want to do the same shit for 27 weeks. Right.
So, set, like smaller goals on the way to your big goal.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So we've got to have short-term goals, right? We've got to have intermediate goals, and then we've got to have a long-term goal that helps us measure like the overall success of the fitness program. So now that we've talked a little bit about some of the guiding principles, right? I'll talk about some of the stuff that I've been doing recently that I think is really helping me out, right?
Murder yoga.
Murder yoga is going to be big in there. Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that I set out to do recently is I said, I want to be able to run a 5-mile run in 40 minutes in my plate carrier with the dog, right? So generally speaking, my run times have been around between 45 and 42 and a half minutes running 5 miles in my plate carrier, right? So what I started to do, instead of just running at one pace for 45 minutes, I've been trying to do interval training, right? So now I will run high intensity intervals, right? So I will run for about 3 minutes as like my warm up. Once that first 3 minutes has elapsed, I will jog for about 30 seconds. So when I say jog, I'm trying to run at a brisk enough pace that I can maintain like a conversation with you.
Sure.
But without like losing my breath.
Yeah.
But I'm also trying to keep in mind, like if I'm running at a conversational type pace, I want to go just a little bit faster than that, right? So if I feel like I could keep up a conversation, I'm going to try and turn it up just a little bit beyond that. Okay. And then I'll do that for 30 seconds. And then
I'm exhausted already, man.
So then I'll run hard for like 20 seconds. Okay. And I have a little app that goes along with this. So it's the jog, run, sprint app. So I'll do 30 minutes of jogging, and then I'll do 20 minutes of running. It is a free app.
Cool.
And then I'll do 10 minutes of sprinting, like just balls out as fast as I can go. And then it goes back to 30 minutes or 30 seconds, of jogging. And I'll do that for 4 sets. So 30 seconds plus 20 seconds plus 10 seconds is equal to 1 minute. I'll do that 4 times. And then the way the app is set up, it says rest, basically. You're taking like a little break for a minute. So I'm on my own time at that point, but I'm still trying to keep up a good pace. So I
Sure.
don't actually like stop and rest. I just know that I'm like not on the clock right now.
Yeah,
So I'll just, try to keep moving. And using that interval training, guys,
that's cool.
I have gotten down to where the other day I ran 5.2 miles in 42 minutes. So, and that was with the plate carrier and coming off a back injury. So,
Wow.
yeah, so I was, that interval running has really helped me out there. So that's what I've been doing for cardio, is just a little bit of interval training to try and get my runs to go a little bit faster.
So we're getting a ton of feedback off of this. Anthony Palumbo says one tip that, and Josh, this is something maybe we should look at.
Oh,
You're
God.
already smiling. You're making me break.
Coming from Tony.
He says one thing that really helped him was, instead of using your children to get your beer for you out of the fridge, like if you get up off the couch and get your own beer,
That's like 10 calories right there.
Yeah, it helps. Baby steps.
Every
Thank you, Tony.
helps.
Thank you.
I don't know, man. That's the sole reason I had kids.
It is nice.
So anyways, guys, so I'll do about 3 of those runs, 3 to 4 of those runs per week in a given week. And a lot of times if I'm doing cardio on a given day, I'm also going to hit a dumbbell circuit in the same day.
Okay.
So I have some 60-pound dumbbells at the house, and I really like to do some circuit training with those. So I'll do like some dumbbell deadlifts, and then I'll go right into straight leg deadlifts, and then I'll go right into alternating rows. And then I'll
bent row? Or?
Yeah, bent over rows where I do 6 on one side and then 6 on the opposite side.
Wow.
And then I'll set the dumbbells down on the floor, and I'll do some clean press with the dumbbells starting from the ground. And then I'll do some front squats with the dumbbells. So I did this morning specifically, I did 5 sets of that. So it was 6 deadlifts, 6 straight leg deadlifts, 6 alternating rows, 6 one, 6 the other, and then 6 clean to press.
Okay.
And
what is the one where you hold the dumbbell like that?
That is a goblet squat.
Goblet squat.
That is a goblet squat. Goblet squats are very good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Tony says that what he would like us to do is to get the carrot on the stick, use a box of 9 mil. Guys will run all day for that.
Okay.
See, I am all stick and no carrot. Like I do not believe in carrots. I am strictly stick.
April says that.
Oh God.
So I'm just gonna read it.
Oh
She
man.
says, "Tell Pat he should not jog with his balls out, but say jog with spelled JAWG, because that's how you say it. I guess you're supposed to say jog.
Yog.
Jog.
I'm supposed to
Jog.
yog.
Jogging.
I'm yogging with my balls out.
I caught the balls out thing too. I was wondering when that was going to come back to bite us. Hopefully not in the balls.
We're lucky. Did you get any questions from any of that stuff that we were talking about?
David Palmer. I wasn't sure if he was trolling us or not. He says fartlek runs. And that's not the fartlek I'm used to.
No. So he's talking about
fart
Indian
run.
runs. He's talking about Indian runs, or that's the old term. So we used to use the term Indian run or last man up run. So basically you're running in a line, right? And you've got a guy in the front. He's basically setting the pace. And then you've got guys spaced out behind him. And the last man has to run all the way up to the front of the line and overtake the first guy. And that is a fartlek or an Indian run.
Fartlek is
Or a last man
Swedish for speed play.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, we used to do Indian runs for ability groups back when I
Does
was in
speed
this.
play come before or after foreplay?
I always thought you were going to say cold play.
I thought he was going to say.
Completely different. Completely different.
I was like, wait a second.
So apparently Loki heard you guys say his name and he perked up.
Oh, yeah.
Now you have to
Oh,
run.
As soon as I say that guy's name, he's like, where's
Well,
that?
I don't know.
The branch manager.
He's so fired up. I love that.
Oh,
He's
man.
great.
Deer season coming up.
It is.
Absolutely.
I was
Season
supposed to
coming
talk to Channel 10 today. They were supposed to come down at 2:30 to talk to me about that.
Yeah.
Like what's going on with like the ammo shortage and how's
Sure.
that going to affect the hunting. And there's so many people that have their license now because of the online
Right?
licenses. And I was prepared to give them a knowledge bomb, but they
Yeah.
never came down.
I'm too afraid, probably.
They didn't come down
But
yet.
yeah, like what, I guess, like, Josh, as the Channel 10 field reporter here, Brandon Lewis, I'd like to ask you what's the ammo situation like this year? How are we looking?
we've talked about this a lot on here, right? So you guys already know, but
I'm all spun up. I know.
the ammo situation is absolute shit.
It's
It is
tough.
dire.
It's terrible.
Brutal.
It is dire.
We were able to get some slugs in. They're gone
Right.
now. They're gone. We don't really have anything like for on the rifle side of things. We've got some 300 Win Mag left.
Yeah.
350 Legend.
We do. That might be FMJ.
Yeah, there's not much, unfortunately. And I know people have seen it, but prices have gone up. I would say significantly.
Prices have gone up on our end.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just, for no other reason than we're being charged more, and ammo has always been something that, if we make a couple bucks, it's not like, not like we're making double our money on a box of
the
ammo,
margins
you
are
know what
not
I mean?
great. Yeah.
And that was okay when we used to sell 200 to 300 boxes of 9mm a week, steady for the range. We could make a couple, $2-3 a box on it, and it wasn't a problem. Well, we're making that same $2 to $3 to maybe $4 a box, but getting,
Significantly
no
fewer
supply.
sales.
Yeah. So that's been very tough, and we get it. It's extremely difficult for us. I mean, there's ammo over there that's worth this price, but it's $25, $30 for one box, and sometimes it's only gonna have 5 rounds in it, but that's what it is these days, and they're very high end hunting projectiles. These aren't just like lead round nosed,
Right.
like ball ammo. There's very specialty stuff. You're only gonna shoot,
Scientifically designed to work. Like,
right.
It takes a lot of
Right.
takes a lot of time
Testing,
and energy and
yeah.
trial and
Yeah.
error to
We've
to
been
make
getting
an
a lot
effective.
of green ammo as well, like
Lead-free
lead
stuff,
free,
yeah.
which is more
Solid
expensive, but
colors.
it's better for you,
Yeah.
better for the environment.
I switched to lead-free ammo across the board like 3-4 years ago.
Just makes sense. If you're gonna eat it, it just makes sense.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the extra money to protect the family, right? Because
Mhm.
you don't want lead, getting into your food even in trace amounts if you can help it, especially working.
Because that
where we
stuff
work.
builds up over time.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, working where we work, we're exposed enough to that stuff, so
Right.
we don't need
Right.
excess.
Sometimes when we do get ammo in, though, we save it for people in the Discord.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yes.
try to hook those brothers
In
up.
fact, we did that this week. We got some 5.56 in,
Ooh.
and I only told the people in the Discord about it. So if you
And
want,
it's still sold out.
it's still it's
yeah.
it's gone.
Fast.
If you want to be in on stuff like that, join the Discord and or bring us beer.
Yeah, those are the 2 ways.
Yeah. The bribery system is in
Yeah.
full effect right now.
Thank you, John Gotham. John brought me
man.
this.
Josh, what are you going to use to hunt with?
So my trusty Remington Model 760 Game Master,
Nice.
chambered in the illustrious 270 Winchester.
Is that a pump?
That it is a pump action that
Nice.
I inherited from my grandfather, the same one that built that
Nice.
place out on Route 5 there that we were talking about earlier. And it's got a Nikon 3-9x50 on it.
Nice. That's a
And
big, let some light in with that.
my ammo of choice is a Barnes Vortex 130 grain.
Nice.
That's a fantastic bullet.
Nice.
I love the Barnes Vortex. I have it for my 270. I have some in 30-06. And I will also be rocking my Glock 40 MOS in 10 mil, which I have Barnes Vortex in 10 mil for
Very
as well.
sweet.
Oh, I love that gun.
I think I might take this trapdoor, single shot Springfield,
I love that gun so
45-70.
much. That thing's
You know,
so cool.
get one shot, one really good shot.
I would
you know.
love to shoot a deer with that thing.
But
dude.
then if they get too close,
yeah,
if they're
if they feel
see
froggy.
see if I can even get it out. So you got to do this before they get to you.
Yeah.
If they get too close.
What a cool
you know.
bayonet system.
Is that 3D?
I like it.
Actually, probably super ineffective. This is a cadet bayonet, so somewhat like sort of threatening still, but like you're
It's
not gonna
vaguely pointy.
right. Yeah, if you need a Phillips head
yeah.
screwdriver, there you go. But
What a cool gun,
still somewhat intimidating. But these would have been used like at West Point or maybe a more civilian facing guard operation. And yeah, I had to pull this out of but this is a legit, Springfield Armory, the actual Springfield.
1973 is it?
This says model 1884.
84. Okay.
I'm not the best.
So that's what we had after the musket and before the 30-40 Craig.
Correct. Yeah. I think this is what they would have used, like the Rough Riders, right? Didn't they use stuff
Rough
like
Riders
this?
had 30-40s.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But
Although they may have been right at that, time where they were
Probably transitioning over to 30-40.
switching to the
this would have been like Custer, right?
yeah.
General Custer and his men
Think
would have had
so,
stuff
yeah.
like this. Yeah. But yeah, had to pull that out of the case.
What a neat
Not what
device.
I'm actually going to use, probably. But
I'm probably going to use something that's similar in age. No, it's a Winchester Model 70 from like 1965.
What
What a great rifle though.
Yeah, 243. I got 95 grain solid
Nice.
copper bullets. I got my 4x4 to 14 power first focal plane scope on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got a nice BSA first focal plane.
That's
mill.
FFP. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man, you
Nice.
should check it out.
4 to
yeah,
14.
you know me.
4 to
Yeah.
14 power, 15 millimeter objective.
50. Okay.
First
sweet,
focal
yeah.
plane. It's MRAD too, so it's
Oh shit. That's
yeah.
a nice scope.
It's a very cool scope. It was only like $400. It was actually a Midway exclusive,
Cool.
made by BSA for Midway.
It's really
So
cheap
pretty
for a
neat.
first focal.
Yeah, I know. That's why I jumped on it because it had great reviews and it was so inexpensive at $400. Before I knew about primary arms and all that shit.
Yeah.
Sure. I bet that thing's a tech driver too.
Oh, it's yes.
I heard you say we've gotten a lot of questions. Do we want to jump
We got a
into?
ton.
Yeah, what
All
you got?
right,
For
yeah,
me,
let's jump into some of those
got for us?
questions.
All right, so let's scroll up to the top.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I'm ready
like
for
two
you.
screens worth of questions.
Let's do it.
Oh, I'm so ready. My body is ready.
Joe Miller asks if there are any 12 gauge shotguns for sale, preferably under 600. Notes it's last minute and lists everywhere are sold out. If we do have any,
Is this
you'll likely
12?
be down
Is this
tomorrow.
12?
That
No,
thing's
that's not for sale.
That's our-
Brandon put the.
That's our stuff.
I didn't realize what it was at first.
I wasn't
so-
sure, if I'm going to go with shotgun, I'll go with the Spaz 12.
Right.
There really is.
Yeah, unfortunately, nothing in 12 gauge at the moment.
I mean,
especially in that price range.
like we have stuff, but it's, for like trap.
Yeah, it's not anything that you're going to use for the upcoming season, right?
If you can hunt in a place where you can use rifle, though, there is a Savage 111 chambered in 243 Winchester on consignment for $6 1/4.
243, great deer round. That's what Uncle Pat uses.
Pentax scope.
Just saying.
All right. Next one is from Marianne saying you were awesome. I presume on the stream Saturday.
Oh, nice. Very good. Thank you,
Thanks,
Marianne.
Marianne. Appreciate it.
She gave a nice donation too, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
Yeah, she was here briefly to chat with us during the live stream.
She's
So
the
it was cool.
best.
Nice. Jeff Gray asks if there are any 12 gauge slugs in stock.
I think there's literally one box of Sabbats.
It's Sabo.
Sabo,
Sabo.
Sibir.
There is, so there's one box of Winchester. I'm trying to see what they are. Oh, extreme point copper Sabo.
2 3/4.
2 3/4, 1 ounce
1
at
ounce.
1,600 feet per second, right?
Oh,
Yep.
all day, brother.
Yeah.
$20.
1 ounce slug at 1,600 feet per second is screaming.
Yeah, that's fast.
Better get
We've
down
also
here at
got
Yeah,
You
be
better
here,
get down
at,
here
be here
early.
at 9 if you
we've
want
got
it.
some
Yeah.
rifled slugs too.
One
boxes-
box?
Two
Oh.
boxes of those still.
2 boxes of Winchester PDX Defender segmented rifled slug.
Stuck the thread. Also, 1 ounce at 1,600 FPS.
Let's talk about, since we're talking about Sabos, now you have to buy it.
It's fine.
Since we're talking about Sabos and rifled slugs,
Yes.
let's talk about this question that we get every single year
So I have a rifle barrel. Can I slugs?
right before deer season because everybody waits till the last minute. So,
Rifle barrel and rifled slugs. Good to go?
no,
Okay.
rifling, right? Rifling is what spins your bullet, makes it more accurate, sends it on its way where you want it to go.
Stable
right?
in
Stabilize it. So a rifled barrel is going to spin your bullet. That's why you use a Sabo,
Which is
because
smooth.
yeah, right. It's a smooth projectile, right? So what is going to spin your bullet? The rifling inside your barrel will spin that bullet. If you have a smooth bore barrel, you want to use a rifled slug, because if you were to shoot a sabot in a smoothbore barrel, there'd be nothing to spin your bullet down the barrel, and you need something to spin that. So on those, you have the rifling on the slug itself, which is going to turn that slug. If you use rifled slugs in a rifled barrel, the rifling on the slug will counteract with the rifling in your barrel and send it. God knows it's going to do this, on its way out, and it's not going to be accurate. Likewise, smooth bore with a smooth.
So we can either understabilize the projectile if we have a smooth bore and a smooth slug, or we can overstabilize the projectile, right? So, we only need rifling, guys, on one of those surfaces. If we have rifling inside the bore, we need a smooth slug. If we have rifling on the slug, we need a smooth bore. Brandon, what you got there?
I was going to do like a little rocket ship going through. These are some absolutely nasty. I don't know how well the camera will pick it up. Let's see.
It's not quite in focus.
Quite something like this. These are 4570.
Right,
yeah, I had it. These are 4570, 430 grain. These are bear loads, 20 round box, $50 for these. That's the highest grain I've ever seen.
So how long is that actual bullet? Can you see where it's seated down in the case? Can you see like where the
I think it goes down to about there.
Yeah, that's got to be.
It goes down.
That's a lot of lead.
Yeah, that's a huge. Like I said, usually they're like 350, 385. Like 405 is the biggest that I've ever seen.
I remember the
4570s.
The first time I ever shot a 4570 was when you and me went to Holly.
Yes.
And the bullets were so big that Brandon had like Sharpied little faces on them. much like the bombs we dropped in.
Yes.
World
That
War
was
II.
literally, had a lot more time on my hands back then.
A lot more artistic time.
Man, that was the first time I think I ever shot a handgun too, because at that time I hadn't shot. I didn't know anybody that had handguns. Your dad's GP 100. I knew you kind of like made him get that or whatever. I had thus far been unsuccessful convincing my dad to get one, but yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Dude, that was actually all him.
Oh, really?
That was actually all him. Yeah, he was like, I think I want my pistol permit. I was like, I think you should go do that.
Yeah.
He's like, I think I want this. 357 6-inch barrel stainless.
Yeah.
I was like, send it.
Do it.
Nobody ever regretted buying a double action Ruger revolver.
That's right.
No,
That's right,
dude.
We're at 8 o'clock. We got a lot of questions.
Let's keep hitting them.
do it,
Yeah,
man.
let's keep hitting them.
It's like we could probably go another half an hour on questions.
Okay. Yeah.
Quick comment from Shannon saying that we sound like the QVC network when we're talking about what's 12-gauge stuff was available.
Fair.
Steven said that his scope came in 10 days. He said thank you for that.
Oh,
He was happy
good.
with how quickly
Good
that
deal.
came.
I'm glad.
Chris Woods had a couple here. We'll do a couple of his and move
Oh,
on.
I'm sure he does.
He was curious how the CMP works at the local level, and when do we think there will be a class for AR-15 building?
CMP at the local level, you basically just get in with a club, whatever club you're going to get in with, or work with an instructor. I'm assuming he means to get qualified to buy a Garand or maybe the shoots. The shoots they do all over. You've gone to a bunch of them.
Yeah, we went to one at Ontario
Ontario
Rod and Gun Club. That was our first match, and then I shot another one a month after that at
Springwater.
Springwater, yeah.
Yeah.
Springwater, yeah, which is where I placed 15th in the nation in my class
That's awesome, dude.
Great.
in the modern military.
That's awesome.
So that was only for that one shoot, but yeah, it was like I shot a 274. That was my second
Out of 300
match.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's awesome.
with two X's too.
Very,
Very
very nice.
important.
274 with two.
And then what was the second part of the question about AR builder classes? Yeah. That's something that, we've tried in the past to like put that on the schedule, and we won't get people to sign up. we've usually had better luck just doing like a one-on-one
Yeah,
lesson.
you can schedule that anytime.
I do those individually,
Yeah.
like on a semi-frequent basis. If you were to call here and talk to me, Chris, on the phone here at the store, I could set you up with a day to come in. Generally, it takes about an hour, right? I mean,
We've got all the
realistically,
tools.
we have all
Right.
the tools that you would need, and I will literally walk you through the process. And we can, start from a stripped receiver and a parts kit, and I'll take you all the way through the procedure, and I'll show you everything that you need to know, all of, the thread treatments that we use, all of the different torque specs for, castle nuts and different stuff like that. Make sure that your magazine, lock is fixed up in the rifle before you leave out of here, because New York State and everything like that. But yeah, we can set one of those up for you anytime. Generally, those classes, like all of our training, we get $60 an hour to do those. But yeah, we can set one up for you anytime, Chris. Happy to do it. So
Love it.
And we love doing those too.
Oh, it's so fun.
They're fun.
It's so much fun, and you guys get so much more out of it, right? When you have somebody that's sitting there
Oh,
with you
yeah.
that's built a bunch of those guns, because then you know what you're doing when you go
Right.
out to do it again. Not that some of you guys out there don't already kind of have some general idea. We get a fair number of guys in here that have put some stuff together, and it looks okay for the most part.
Right.
But there is, a little bit more to some of it than you know.
Sure.
There are some tricks.
The devil's in the details.
Well, and some
Yeah.
people don't understand, like those pins on your, just for one quick example, your hammer and trigger pins on your fire control group, right? They're identical,
Yeah.
right? The two pins are identical, and they both got the same grooves on them. But some people don't know there is a correct direction that they should be going in and out of that receiver. And some people don't know that there is a correct orientation for the grooves in those pins. So, again, it's one of those things
Yeah.
where if you don't know, you don't know. But when you do it right and you see it done right, you know why it's done a specific way.
It's so hard to schedule that as a class too, because everybody has different parts and a different build out, so like if you were, okay, yes, they're all relatively the same, but it's just much easier to do it. Here's the parts that you brought. Here's your rifle we're going to build. Let's just build it,
Right.
together. And some people are a little bit more mechanically inclined, and some people get it, faster
A little
than
bit
others,
quicker,
or,
right.
all sorts of things. So yeah, private lesson for sure.
Private lessons, way to go.
All right. Next one, John had asked, how much are the M1s? I think they're still.
So yeah, we've got a couple up here. We've got one here, $1299.99. This one is August 43 was the manufacture date there. This one from Springfield Armory is January 44. This one's $1349.99. And we've got one here from June of 54, $1399.99. This one's an H&R. And obviously this one's a little bit higher graded than the other two, which is why it costs a little bit more.
I saw too. We've got the throat and muzzle erosion on here,
Yep.
which is amazing. And these are, this one that's a little cheaper is a little bit rougher. Actually, not really though. I mean, these are all amazing, either zeros or pluses. And basically, the wood, obviously, one of them is a little dark. It's got a couple dings in it and whatnot, but they have been used, but they are in amazing condition.
They're in great shape.
They're definitely shooters.
Beautiful rifles, and any one of those will probably shoot great for you. So
Yeah, the H&R is super cool too. Like Korean War era, they were usually regarded as some of the best. Even among the Winchesters or whatever. The H&R, just they were gun makers to begin with.
Right.
So they did really, really well.
they didn't have to go through as much retooling as some of the other.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Awesome to see. What else we got?
Do a quick one from Steven, then we'll go to Lance. Steven asks if you guys buy guns and ammo. Obviously, I know you guys buy guns, that's for sure. I didn't know about ammo.
Ammo is tough.
Yeah. We normally say no, just so that we can be sure that it's not a reload.
Yeah.
Because that can have, like liability,
Right.
like issues.
So we don't take returns on it too.
Yeah.
Generally we will take ammo in if it's with a gun. We'll put it that way. That's a very common thing. This consignment piece comes with, 100 rounds of this or whatever. But generally, yeah, it is case by case though. We'll admit we've gotten guys that have brought down here's still a sealed case like it's still banded, or if it's like in, if you got like XM193 with one of those sealed things still on it, you know what I mean? Like we will maybe send us a message on Facebook with some pictures first,
Sure.
If it's
might be Discord or private sale.
sure. Yeah.
Sure,
There is nothing wrong with selling that ammo yourself. There's no laws, there's no requirements, nothing you have to do. Private sale of ammo is completely legal, and I'll tell you, there's a huge market for it.
I was
right
going to say,
now.
if you're sitting on a bunch of ammo and you're looking for ways to turn that ammo into some money.
The other one I would say would be to take auctions out of Batavia. He sells a ton of ammo, and he has been getting ridiculous prices. Some of my buddies out of love have sent me, like, hey, like they know we're looking for ammo. They're like, hey, like Bontrager's has a ton of ammo, but it goes for,
stupid
people are buying it,
prices.
and that is the truest sense of what the market will pay, at an auction like that. So, that might be one of your best courses is private sale it, or if you've got a lot, you don't want to deal with it, auction house, I know Hessney's does it too, but Bontrager's right around the corner, relatively right around the corner, and we deal with Todd and them a lot. So yeah, good folks over there.
Wartendike Road.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right out in Batavia. What you got?
Just handling a question off the camera. Lance asks, what are the plans for Polar Wave?
Sure. So we've talked about this a couple times, but I'll go through it quick. Basically, the plan is to get as much use out of that place as we can and really turn that into a whole tactical shooter's paradise, if you will. We intend on having multiple bays, like some of the other gun clubs have, where you can kind of do your own thing in a bay. If you want to do this kind of training, you can do it. If you want to do some other type of training, as long as it's safe, we'll allow it. We intend on running it a little bit more like a club than how this place is. This is a very open, you just walk in, you go through a safety briefing, you sign a waiver and you're shooting. Excuse me, that'll probably be more like, Polar Wave will be more like a traditional gun club in this area, where likely during the week, it's kind of members only, and there's a little bit more of a vetting process. Maybe you have to take a class, you have to pass some type of test or something like that. But then you'll be, there will be staff there, but you'll be relatively unsupervised, like a gun club is. But then on the weekends, we'll have more staff, we'll have range officers, and I think it'll operate more publicly available on the weekends. That's kind of the model we're going with right now. But yeah, we'll definitely have multiple, like 5 or 6 tactical bays, either for pistol or rifle use, short 25, 30 yard by 30 foot wide, bays. We'll have some longer range stuff, some 100, 200, 300 yard stuff. We'll have a longer range course, like 400 to 500, maybe even 6, depending on how we do it. We definitely will have a track of some kind, like a obstacle course, some type of fitness aspect to it as well. We'd love to have just a cool trail going around it with some cool nature. We'll have Josh point out all the cool trees and birds and habitats and whatnot.
With Latin names.
Oh, of course. Indicus. No, I'm just kidding. But we'll also, though, beyond the shooting, because obviously that's what we know and that's what we love. But there is such a need, though, for family-oriented stuff in Batavia. So we've talked about doing like a drive-in movie theater there. There's certainly the space for it. And if you think about it, actually it's one of those things, a lot of people think it's illegal. There's no law against shooting at night, but generally you don't shoot at night and you can't play movies on a drive-in screen during the day. So those two things will kind of work together. We'll have the room. We would love to do some like trap and skeet shooting. We've talked about doing, like growing up maybe like an acre or 2 of corn and doing like a little corn maze in there, just whatever we can kind of get away with, really. If you've got ideas, if you think there's something we should be doing out there, I'd love to hear it. We've got 22 acres and, there's only so much roughing it Pat can do out there.
Oh, I don't know. I have a feeling.
A lot of you are going to really learn to hate that property.
Yeah, you guys
in a good way. Like,
you guys are going to have some really good times out there, but it's going to suck.
Yes, some very sweaty times.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm very excited about that place, and I can't wait for it to be built out a little bit more.
We're still just working through. We have meetings. We have meetings with the architect all the time, Matt Hume out of Batavia, and we just going through the processes, and it's just a slow. I hate to say it, I'm really nervous that they're going to lock things down again, and right, like just we were getting going, they're gonna. But at least now we, are pulled it right out. Before we were like starting to get ready, and then things shut down, and I'll admit I kind of shut down too on that. We just didn't do anything over most of the summer, I'll admit. And then, okay, we're firing things back up. We're getting them going again. So if they do shut down again, we're going to keep moving forward, though. And at least as soon as they're ready to reopen, we'll be ready to present, our plans and whatnot, and we'll get it done. So, yeah, stay tuned. We'll get there. Mr. Brian, when you get the chance.
They're basically coming in as fast as I can.
I know.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That's good.
No, it's great. I love.
Do we have any quick ones? Are there any that we can just say yes or no to?
Yeah, there are a couple.
Okay.
Do that too. First, George asked if you guys have any primers.
No.
No.
Yep.
That was quick.
Next is any 308 available.
No.
Negative.
We had some. Again, we got
We got some
a
on
few
Monday.
thousand rounds.
gone.
It just went so fast.
20 gauge deer slug. If not, any idea on when?
Might
No.
be one box.
No and no.
Sorry. Yeah. No. No. Yeah. You're right.
No and
All
no.
right. So while he's over there off camera, a positive feedback for Pat. Marcos just wanted to give you a shout out, Pat. 2 months ago, they brought a first time gun buyer to you who was a little scared and a little nervous. With them, explain things, made her feel very comfortable. So shout out for you there.
Very good. Thank you. I actually ran into that situation again earlier this week. We had a lady and her husband come, and he was very excited, and she seemed like everything was good to go. And we went from the classroom out onto the range, and I put a 9mm in her husband's hand, and he shot a nice group, and he did really well. And I said, "Okay, miss, come right on up here." And literally the first shot that she took from the 9mm handgun that we were using, I think it was 43X or 48, she just like immediately started crying. She it was just so loud, and there's a lot of other people out there shooting, and I think it was just a little bit too much.
It happened.
Guns out, and we came off the range for a couple of minutes, and we just had a little talk, like, "Hey, is everything good? Are you feeling okay? Would you be comfortable with trying something a little bit smaller? And do you think that might be beneficial?" And so we went and grabbed the 22, and we went back out there and shot another couple groups with the 22. She was feeling a little bit more comfortable. Took the 9mm again, and literally one round out of the 9, she lost it again, and she had to leave the range. She was just done. So
Yeah.
That's what I had to just do. I just done.
just had to leave the range.
I
We
just
were
had
done.
to leave, and I just had
It
to.
was just done, yeah.
Oh man.
Well,
A couple of quick ones. 223 availability. I'm pretty sure that's a no as well.
0.
It's so tough.
Next question.
Smokeless range. I presume that is something that they can sign up for one-on-one training with.
Yeah, so hit me up and give me a call, and we can get something on the schedule for you next week. I would love to get some more use out of that. I've been playing with it a little bit, and we've had some good,
Pretty cool.
stuff going on with that. We've been practicing draw times and different stuff like that, working some trigger control stuff, and it's a great way to learn the fundamentals of marksmanship without burning a lot of really expensive ammo. So yeah, if you guys want to set something like that up, hit me up, and we'll get something on the calendar so I can have it all set up for you, and we'll fire it up.
Next one was questions about ammo transfers. So they're buying from a dealer online that needs an FFL. How's the process to get the PIN's FFL information to them in order to place the order?
we will send it right to them. We can't send it to you for liability purposes. We will send it right to them. They will ship it to us. When you see that it's here, you can come pick it up, and it's $10. That's it. Super easy. Except for if you're trying to buy from Midway USA or Cheaper Than Dirt. They will not send anything to New York. We've tried dozens of times.
And you don't want to buy anything from Cheaper Than Dirt anyways.
No, they
So
suck.
stay away from Cheaper Than Dirt forever.
All right. Next one should be somewhat fairly quick. Will a Glock trigger fit in the SAR 9X?
Ooh.
No.
I don't think those trigger bars are compatible at all.
A SAR 9X is as far. Oh, no.
SARS Malaz or whatever. Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
Alec asked, any recommendations for gaining weight? This is back during your fitness talk.
Any recommendations for gaining weight? So here's the deal, man. If you want to gain weight, you have to eat a lot of calories and you have to lift very, very heavy weights, right? The only to putting on weight is to feed your body excess calories and do the things that are going to help you put on more muscle. So squats, deadlifts, bench press, bent over row, military press, right? Those big 5 exercises are what we call compound movements, right? Which means they use multiple joints and they are using large muscle groups within your body. We don't want to be doing a lot of isolation stuff like single joint exercises like bicep curls and things of that nature, because the biceps are not where we gain weight, right? Typically we gain weight in like quads and glutes and lats, right?
Military
those bigger
press,
muscles. So that's more like shoulder. Military press is like overhead.
Okay.
Military press is like standing or seated over the head.
Gotcha.
Right. So we used to have a thing that we said all the time when I was really big into like lifting heavy weights. If you're not rowing, you're not growing. Right. So you really need to be working on those lats and you need to be rowing with big, heavy barbells, right? Bent over rows of big, heavy barbells, squats, deadlifts. Those are going to be the exercises that help you gain weight because those are going to build those big, strong muscles, and that's where the weight comes from.
Nice.
Reese's peanut butter cups, I would say.
Boom.
Sure.
You know, yeah.
So yeah,
Have you ever been to college?
Yeah, there you go.
yeah. So on the nutrition side, though, guys, like one thing that's really interesting to me is like when I work out, right? Generally speaking, I can eat whatever I need to eat after I worked out.
You
right?
should
Because
see
my
this guy
body-
pound a meatball sub.
Oh my god, I eat
Holy
so fast.
crap.
Yeah, no, I eat whatever, guys. Like as far as the nutrition side,
A Kobayashi.
in there. Yeah. But yeah, as far as nutrition goes, guys, if you're working hard, right, your body needs calories. So give your body calories. Don't I didn't get a body like this by not eating what I want to eat. Straight up. I eat whatever I want.
Same goes for me. I didn't get a body like this.
See, there you go.
Oh my God. Am I allowed to show some of these? Your wife sent some pictures.
Geez.
Some pictures of large Pat.
Yep. You can show.
Yeah. I don't know how well it'll work, but
Yes,
you look so different too without the beard.
Yes, I used to be
Yeah.
a much larger human.
Let's see. I don't know how this is gonna work, but
Yeah, not focusing.
look at that. Oh, there he is. Look
Yes,
at
I
that.
also used to watch NFL foosball for those of you who don't know.
Look at
So
that
yes,
guy.
I was a big Steelers fan before the NFL turned into a bunch of kneeling.
Just such a hunk though.
My
Look
parents
at
will love you for that one.
Well, I
just-
played linebacker in school, right? So
all that is man.
Yep, I can swing an axe a little
Your
bit.
wife is so supportive.
Yeah, she likes me. She thinks I'm pretty good.
You mean she doesn't just heckle at you and threaten to stab you like mine does?
Generally not. No, we've been together for like almost 20 years now. So
Playing the long game.
That you're out of that phase.
yeah, no,
The threatening to stab phase.
yeah, no, we're done with that.
What do you got, buddy?
Next one, I believe this was about ammo sales not shipping to an FFL. Came from David, who's saying, "What do you think of online sales that will send to New York?"
Do it.
So that's
Target Sports USA, any of those places.
the law is against them doing it. So I wasn't going to say that, when the first guy asked, but yeah, like if you find a website and you order it and they just ship it to your front door, like you have done nothing wrong.
You have one,
Right. They have technically broken the law.
but there is
But
no law.
No one has ever been, as far as I'm aware, maybe Steve could answer this better, but like no one has ever been charged with that or prosecuted or even been sent a letter to stop doing that. So if you look online, there are definitely like pro 2A New York specific forums and like sections of forums.
You
If
can find that
If you
info, yeah.
research enough, yeah, you'll find like current lists of like these places will ship to New York. Honestly, I think our Discord might even have a list of those that people just know. I want to see
Target Sports?
Target
does.
Sports
Yeah.
USA, Liberty Munitions, right?
Mhm.
They were shipping to
exist.
New York
Think
for a
so,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Palmetto State Armory used to ship right to your door, but their policies have gotten really weird recently.
Have
They
they?
won't,
Yeah.
they won't
Yeah.
even send strip lowers anymore, from what I'm being told. Yeah, it's crazy.
They'll send strip lowers, but not complete lowers.
Oh, that's what. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. They won't send complete, even to us though. It's
But yeah,
incredibly stupid.
if you find one that does it, do it. I wouldn't worry about it.
Full send.
Yep.
All right, next one from one of our YouTube watchers. It's been quite a while, so wanted to make sure we get to this one. We talked about shotguns for home defense in detail a couple of streams ago, so go back and check that out if you want more details. But they're asking what the thoughts are on bullpup shotguns like the Kel-Tec KSG for home defense.
Don't do it. No, it's on my shoe. The KSG to us is more of a novelty gun.
Yeah.
If you want something cool, like space age, novelty, like just for fun, gun, sure. Would I trust my life with one of those things? 100% no. I would not.
So clunky, man.
I would not trust my life to one of those guns.
If you've ever held a KSG 12 gauge, and then you're probably not one of the guys that's going to be asking, should I trust this thing with my life? Because you'll already know the answer to that question from just holding the gun.
I saw a cool what if thread on Reddit it was months ago, I think, but it was basically like if you took Kel-Tec's innovation and partnered that with like Ruger's or FN's, like proven like reliability, basically, that would be a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. I just can't take them seriously, I guess. And
now the KS7, though, I think that.
We wanted some. We've had some on order since they came out. Well, there you go. We can play around with some. We can put some. We would generally, but we're like all three of us are in the camp. We wouldn't pick a shotgun to begin with, so we might not give the most unbiased,
That's
whatever.
the last thing that I'm going for.
But I'm with you. And there's nothing. Please, there is nothing wrong with having a gun just for fun.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot to be said for that. If you like that gun, if you have fun shooting it, do it. That's awesome.
I think most of mine are just for fun.
Yeah.
Some for defense, but most of them are just for
There is
fun.
nothing wrong with that. But I do think the question asks for defense.
Yeah.
So in that mindset, yeah, I would rock with something tried and true, a Mossberg 590, even like a Maverick 88, Remington 870, just go with something that's super proven and super reliable.
There's a few things about the KSGs specifically, like the KS7s are less to me of like a liability, but the selector for the feed tubes on the KSG, like there's just too many different things, too many different ways that system could fail you or you could fail. Yeah. Because maybe you don't have enough training to operate the system. It's not as simple.
Like short stroking is
one of my biggest things, right? Like
if you don't rack that thing like you mean it, it is going to malfunction.
You got to shuck that thing like you mean it.
And in a stressful situation.
Right.
Yeah, it's just shotguns are, more higher, like a steeper training curve than you might think initially.
It's one of those guns that kind of embodies it's a great idea on paper.
Right.
Sure.
But just not even that the execution, like they did it bad, but it's just like, that's just not like in practice. It's just not like having the two tubes. I know a lot of people like, I can put buckshot in one and slugs in the other.
But now
it's like,
select.
Okay, you can do that, but why?
Why?
Why would you ever do that?
You've also got to practice.
Right.
How am I manipulating the shotgun to make that an effective combination?
And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if I send it this way, I'm actually closing off that, like the way that, it's kind of almost, you'd have to really train with that.
Right.
Same thing for the DP12, guys.
Sure. Yeah.
Purely a novelty gun.
Yeah.
And if you have one of those and I just offended you, sorry.
Yeah.
But
if somebody out there is able to really show me,
you've seen their website, like they have those things on there with the like the double crazy muzzle brakes,
right,
and flashlights and lasers and like the cheap flex red dot sight you can possibly buy,
right,
and it appeals to like the 18-year-old first time
they
gun
do
buyer.
look cool in the gun magazine, like the marketing is there, they
practical, no,
yeah,
not practical.
Next. Thank you.
Quick
Next.
comment. George says that he picked up his K98 from here recently. Loves it. Can't wait to get it out on the range.
Cool.
Awesome.
Nice.
Another hopefully quick one from Chris Miller was asking if you guys think the ammo shortage is due to raw materials or something else.
Think about everything that has happened over the past 9 months and combine it into one big bucket.
Yeah. It's a lot of everything. It's certainly raw material shortages, and we're probably talking true like raw material, like copper,
Lead.
and brass, and then the huge influx of new people and just the current market just demand in general. And then a lot of factories were shut down.
Right.
So there's that gap, so it was a real perfect, if you've been into guns for a while now, like over 10 or more years, you've seen this the past few elections. It's happened, or like after Sandy Hook, it happened, after the Parkland shooting, after Vegas, it'll happen in small little blips. But this was just that perfect storm of so many things combining. So, yeah.
The other thing too that I was going to say is think about like in January was when we first went to the lockdowns, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody was panic buying ahead of the lockdowns because they didn't know what was going to happen with the virus. And then in March there started to be some rioting and stuff. And then around like May, right when the riots really got big over the summertime, and there were riots all over the place,
Right.
And people were panic buying then. And then with
Panic
the election
buying what
coming
was
up,
left
right, panic buying what they could get.
after the first panic buy.
And then, as Brandon was indicating, you got all these new gun owners, and then you got some of the manufacturers that are shut down. And then when they do reopen, maybe they're operating at diminished capacity,
Right.
but they're trying to keep up with 4 times the amount of demand that they would
Right.
ordinarily see. And they're operating maybe with half or 2/3 of the staffing, right?
Right.
So there's just a huge combination of factors that are all coming together at once. That's making this a really difficult time for the industry. So,
And let's talk about the prices, right? The prices are not going to go down anytime soon for multiple reasons.
especially when people
Here's-
keep panicking.
Right. Here and that's one of them. But here's the other main reason that I think about. The prices are not going to go down anytime soon because dealers like us are placing back orders like our life depends on it.
Right.
Because if we don't, we're not going to get any ammo. And we're back ordering them when the prices are high.
Through the roof, yeah.
Right.
So the prices are not going to go down anytime soon because of that. And Vista Outdoors has over $1 billion back order on just ammo alone. And Vista Outdoors owns a bunch of different companies.
Yeah.
They have $1 billion back order on just ammo.
Yeah, that's just what Federal, CCI, Spear. I mean,
Yeah.
it's some big companies, but it's not,
It's not all of the big companies.
we've got 6 figures on back order just with Winchester, like
Which-
directly.
I don't know if you knew this or not, but they picked up Lake City.
Ooh, they got that contract.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
so
good.
Winchester picked up Lake City, which
That's
is good
good.
for us because we have literal pallets of 9 and 5.56 on back order.
Literal. Yeah.
And what else is going to make it so that the prices stay high is everybody's mindset. To get everybody out of the mindset of I see it, I need it
Sure.
as much as I can buy.
Yeah.
Even if you're guys like us,
Right.
that may have been doing that for years,
Right.
or like our dad's age, they have been in this game longer than us, may have like pallets in their basement. People like that are still,
Right.
Trying
Right.
to
if I
go
see it,
online
I
more,
have
yeah.
to buy it. And that is what is going to extend the price, like being high, is
Right.
because it's going to take forever for people's mindset to get out of that. No, you know what? I have enough
Sure.
at home.
I mean, there are still people with that mindset left over
From the
from
22.
I was going to say, the 22 shortage of like 2013 and 14,
Yeah.
like when we opened. There are still
100%.
people that are like, oh, wow, like there's 22 ammo. I'm going to buy it
Yeah.
just because it's here and I see it.
100%. And that was 7
Um,
years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, it's going to be we're in this for the long haul.
unfortunately.
And
Yeah.
Trump getting elected, if that happens, that's not going to change anything. I've
no matter who
heard
gets
a
put
lot
in
of
the
people say that, it's because of the Democrats or it's because of Biden. Guys, it's going to be the same no matter who's in office.
I would definitely say that's one thing that it's not. I've had some people ask me like,
It has nothing to do
like,
with that.
if the government is doing this somehow behind the scenes.
It
And
has
like,
nothing to do with that.
their distribution channels are completely different. They own their own factories, and again, like Lake City, the government owns that factory. They contract it, flip flops all the time between Federal and Winchester and other companies. But for a while, like Federal ran that plant, and the government says, okay, we need you to make this amount of ammo per day, and whatever you can run on top of that, you can sell it. at whatever, that's how you make your money through that contract, basically. So,
Right.
that is definitely not the reason. There's no government agency swiping their credit card and buying it all so that you can't buy it,
And the government has bigger things to worry about. I mean, they've
Sure,
got a lot of
sure.
other issues going on behind the scenes that I
Right.
don't think they're
They're not buying up 357 mag or 270 ammo.
No, absolutely not.
Maybe though.
Got,
Brian, what else you got, buddy?
yeah, so I got a couple more.
Let's chug
We're getting
along.
through,
I love it.
We're definitely on longer streams. It's 8:30 already.
It's all good.
So a quick one from Rick that just came in. Have you guys ever heard of Opticam ammo? I believe that's how it's pronounced.
Doesn't ring any bells.
No, I've never heard of it.
So they're saying if you'd heard of it, and then if so, are they reliable? But since you guys haven't heard of it, that's kind of answers the second question.
Really?
Is that
Yeah, I
a
really
website?
wouldn't know.
Optic and ammo?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't heard of it
Sure. Yeah.
either. Pat, real quick, Jeremiah submitted a comment back during the fitness portion,
What's up?
saying that asking if you check the U.S. Army's individual weapon qualification table. It's more realistic, forces the soldier to use the wall structure, and it's on the soldier to decide when to do their own reloads.
I've seen different stuff, Jeremiah, where they have been changing some of the qualification tables, both for the Marine Corps and for the Army, to incorporate more combat shooting and less of the old school static on the line type of qualification mindset. I haven't, I guess, read the entire qualification table, top to bottom, front to back kind of thing. But I am very interested to see that our services are heading in that direction more, right? And that they're getting more interested in training that has a real practical application to small unit tactics and especially military operations in urban terrain, which, is the trend of the day. So yeah, I'm really excited to see the Army, getting into more of that mindset. Absolutely.
Okay. Hopefully, a fairly quick one from Michael. And then we got one from Anthony, which I'm kind of curious about.
Sure.
And that'll probably be our last one of the night. So the one from Michael, flashlights for rifles, probably more centered home defense idea.
100%.
15-inch handguard on his rifle. How many lumens for home defense? And talk about having tape on switches.
Yeah.
Is it just cool or is it actually viable?
No, yeah, 100%. So
Having switches, having tape switches on your gun is a very viable option, specifically for if you have a switch that's mounted on the top rail, right? Because if I'm a right-handed shooter, and generally speaking, I'm going to have my left support hand out on my rail, so my thumb is going to be resting right on the top, and I can engage that top switch from there, that tape switch from there. However, if I have to transition my rifle to the opposite side, if my tape switch is right there on the top, then when my grip changes, I can still manipulate the switch with my support hand, and I really don't have to think too much about it, right? So I do like having a tape switch as long as the switch is good, right? So Surefire.
we all have our own lights, like that we like.
Right.
Sure. Like Brando, you like the Surefire Scout.
Yep.
Surefire Scout
Yep.
lights are awesome.
I'm a fan of the Streamlight ProTac
Nice. Yep.
rail mounted.
Super nice
And
lights. I have a Phoenix TK16 on my rifle.
Been really impressed with those.
Super nice lights, right? My light is like 1,200 lumens, right? At the brightest setting on my long gun, which is stupid. The throw is like 300 meters, right? So for me on my rifle, lumens, let's talk about lumens. So obviously I need a minimum of like 300 or 400 lumens.
yeah, I was going to say
right?
like 350.
To be able to illuminate what's in front of me. But I also want some candela, right? So lumens obviously is the amount of light measured, up close, and candela is the ability basically of your light to throw that light a little bit farther, right? So,
And there's a lot of ways to measure that too. So if you want to buy, a quality light, I forget what the name of the organization is, but Mike Hess told us about this. There are multiple companies that say that their light might be 1,000 lumens,
right?
But it's right when it turns on, and then it kind of
it dims.
Yeah, it goes, up to 1,000, and then
or whatever. Yeah.
kind of falls right down. So yeah, as long as you're buying from one of the higher quality manufacturers like Surefire, Streamlight, ASP,
ASP makes good lights.
Phoenix Olight.
Yeah, generally those lights are going to work as advertised, right?
Yeah.
And they're not going to have those step downs kind of right away. But a lot of lights, yeah, they do have a microprocessor in them that's designed to basically regulate heat. So,
So cool.
if the light is running, at a really high output for a long time, then it's going to get hot, and your light is going to intentionally dim itself down to keep everything cool, to keep your electronics from, potentially being burned out. So, yeah, it is important to know, do a little bit of research, but yeah, Surefire, Streamlight. I have been very impressed by the durability of some of the Olight lights out there, and a lot of guys that do a lot more work in that realm than I do, specifically like Mr. Guns and Gear and stuff like that.
Sure.
If you watch his channel, he does a lot of stuff with the Olight lights, and some of the videos that he's done, I saw him fish one out of like the pond where he does all of his
Nice.
reviews and stuff, and literally he like fished this light out, rinsed it off, changed out the batteries, and immediately it was good to go. And it had been like completely submerged underwater for months at a time, and he just fished it out, and it was a regular Olight, just took it out. I think it was the Valkyrie PL2. There's a whole video on it. Go and watch it. But yeah, this thing was, I thought it was roached, right? He pulled it out of the silty bottom of the pond, and I was like, I thought the thing was done. And he just hosed it out, dried it out, put some new batteries in, good to go. The electronics were.
I'll personally plug for Streamlight. I carry a Streamlight 2LX all the time on me. It's amazing to have, not only for defense, because it does have a strobe. Now I can't get to do it, but it's not bad. Looked it up on Amazon. It's $42, 500 lumens, 6800 candela, 165 meter beam. And I can light up houses with it.
Yeah.
And it fits right in my pocket.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Streamlight.
You can definitely, like with anything, you can go to any level, of your budget. But certainly, like, don't be afraid if you've already got maybe a spare light or something. These will generally fit 1-inch scope rings.
A lot of them.
So maybe you have an old, like a BB gun scope. Like this rings don't really matter that much. You can get a light inexpensively on your, because I would rank a light a must-have. If you're gonna have a fighting rifle, for lack of a better word,
100%.
Sling, light, and then optic would probably be my priority list of, like I would put a light on that gun before I put an optic on it.
Especially if I already had iron sights, right?
Well, you have to have some kind of.
If I already had some sort of iron sighting configuration, I'm going straight for a sling, right? Because obviously running a rifle is a two-handed deal. But if I need to get off the gun, then I need to get off the gun, and I need to have it hang securely to my body, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is put a sling. Second thing I'm going to do is mount a light, because if I'm pointing a rifle at something, I better be goddamn sure what it is, right? Yep. So obviously I can't run a light separately from my long gun, but as you guys know, I'm a big fan of running my handgun and my light independently of each other, because not everything that I need to see better also needs pistol sights pointed at it at the same time, right? So this is another light that I like.
I'm a little different in that regard.
Right? So this is a PowerTac light. This is their E9, and they've also got their E5, the PowerTac E5.
Yeah, that's a good light too.
Super awesome light. These are made in the United States. I did not know that.
Bezel at the end there.
It's got a nice strike bezel. Yeah. This thing is duper bright. It will go up to like 1200 lumens. It's got multiple brightness modes, and the E5 is actually better for a weapon mounted light because it's got a hotter beam, but it's a little bit more focused, and it's got better throw. So PowerTac, and they're making these now with like USB charging capabilities built right into them.
Nice.
You can run the CR123 batteries in these.
I'm huge on that.
And you can run the 18650s in these. And if you check out the specs, guys, on what these lights will do with those 18650 rechargeable batteries, the runtime at max, like 12 or 1500 lumens on the higher end lights is like hours.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hours at a time. Right. So yeah, the PowerTac series of lights, if you guys aren't familiar with them, check them out. Great US made company. I've been using this specific light since I know exactly when I got this light. I got this light right after SHOT Show 2018 because PowerTac was a sponsor for the podcast that I used to do a couple years back. So I'm actually going to reach out to them and see if we can get become a retailer of their stuff.
We
I
could
think
do
you guys would
whole,
be impressed.
We could do a whole stream on just lights, guys.
We probably should.
Honestly,
start
we
doing
are-
some deep
we should-
dives. Like,
We
Spend some
are,
time
you know,
on
like
that stuff.
everybody here is, you know, like so big into like the gear.
yeah, lights,
Part of it.
knives.
Yeah,
You know,
we're so
gosh.
big into all of that stuff. So
We'll do one. I know Darnell doesn't want to be on camera. We'll do one where it's just like the top-down view, like a QVC. You'll just see like our hands and stuff, and,
You can
and
talk
yeah.
about knives
do
and
knives
stuff.
and whatnot. Yeah.
seriously, we could talk for an hour and a half about flashlights.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Done it.
And there's so many good, the thing is, guys, there's so many good lights out there too,
yeah,
right? That,
mod light,
mod light, Owl,
systems. Yeah,
right? Like so
Yeah,
many
like
good cloud,
I was gonna say, yeah,
defensive with their,
Some of those are just so expensive, though. It's hard to, you know.
right. It's hard for me to justify.
$200-$300 flashlight, you know,
Yeah.
and like objectively, it might, you know, again, if you're on some tier 1 team where money's not an object at that point, yeah, it probably does have features that are better.
I got kids in
We could
college.
get
For most
Mike.
parts. Yeah, you know.
Can't do all that.
What's that?
we should get Mike Hess down here.
That'd be
for
awesome.
SB.
We keep
Talking
it's 100% our, like, we keep dropping the ball on that. He wants to come down
Yeah.
and be on here, so we just gotta,
I learned a lot about flashlights from him.
yeah, definitely one of those, like, oh, it's, you know, like how a lot of people will come in here kind of like, oh, it's a gun, like, what's, how much is there to know about it?
Yeah.
It's like, there's a lot.
Surprising amount,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. All right, let's get that.
Got any more questions, Brian? Or are we
Two
all?
more and one quick comment.
Let's do it.
Sure.
Two more and one quick.
So the quick comment, kind of joke, comes from Jeremiah, saying, "What kind of deal can he get if he drops off some fresh-made, authentic tacos?"
Oh man.
What kind of tacos?
Yeah.
Fish tacos? Maybe some brisket tacos?
Ooh.
Carne asada?
Yeah.
Asada.
We love tacos. I like tacos. Yeah.
I'm a taco fan.
Well, the next question,
A deal.
quick, asking for a quick Tyler update.
Oh, sure. So I was able to just see him on Tuesday. Went over there for a few hours, and he is in very good spirits. He is getting better and better and better. They're actually talking he might be coming home like before Christmas, which is huge. Would be crazy. But yeah, it's just a night and
You
day.
mean coming back to work?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's BS how much
Yeah.
time he's had off. Like no excuse. Just
You need to be
Lazy
on this gun
bones,
counter,
you
mister.
know?
Let's go.
I mean, you know how like I'll go in there and I'll be like, "So what you been up to?" He's like, "You're looking at it," you know, like. But no, he's definitely looking forward more. For a while, he was definitely kind of just stuck in that rut and looking backwards and just kind of, you know, like
This is my life
Yeah,
now,
exactly. Like
kinda
this is
deal.
all it's ever going to be. And it's like, well, you know, that tunnel might be very long, but there is light at the end of it. And he's starting to see that now. You know, he was worried, and obviously we've gotten a ton of donations, and he's gotten a ton of support, you know, and love from everybody. But he was like, man, he's like, I don't even have any socks or underwear. And I was like, well, actually you do, because a lot of people have brought it down. We just haven't given it to you yet.
Don't
And,
worry. We got,
you know, that GoFundMe, I was like, we'll be okay. Don't worry about that. Like,
you got plenty of sock money, buddy.
well, yeah, you'll be okay. You don't gotta worry about your socks, you know.
Your socks are gonna have socks.
There you go. Yeah, I get some nice, what's that one? Darn Tough. They're like
Darn tough. Yeah.
$20 a pair or whatever.
I got
They're
some of those.
nice. Yeah.
Use those for when I go
Just
back.
go down to REI and just blow a lot of cash. You know?
You're wearing Duluth Trading Company.
Merino.
Ooh, yeah, I like
Merino
those.
wool. Smart wool.
But yeah, he is definitely. I mean,
Smart wool.
again, you know, I don't really want to go into too much of the details, but there's been some ups and downs. You know, still like I know there were some issues over the weekend. You know, that luckily he's at one of the best places in the world for him to be. He's up at Strong, and he's got some of the most amazing people there. But you know, it's just so funny that
one of them's you, buddy.
Yeah, one of the things, like those of you that know Tyler, you know he is just a genuine person that really does care about everyone he runs into. And you know, me and him have had this discussion before, and we're all the same way. The guys that work here, you know, like when you go out to say a restaurant, you just try to be, you know, that ideal customer, or like wherever you go, you just, because we've done retail for the past, you know, long time, and you just know what drives customer service people nuts, and you know what makes their lives a little better.
Right.
And you know, he is that same way. You know, if we go out to eat somewhere, you know, he's that way to the server. and he's that way like to the hospital staff. He's just, it's please and thank you with every sentence he says, and he's just like the perfect patient they could ever ask for. And he's just so, he was also training to be a nurse at one point, so he's an extremely knowledgeable patient too. Like stuff will be going wrong, and he'll be like telling them, like, oh yeah, it's this machine making that, whatever. Like he'll tell them, yeah. So he's doing good though. I'm very happy to say he's doing good. I definitely think our cumulative love and positivity that we've been sending his way, he can feel it. It's helping. And yeah, he just can't wait. It's still a lot. I would say he's just now getting over that hump of healing physically. And he still has so much longer to go. But he's going to be healing mentally for a long time.
Sure.
We got to remember. I know I'm hard. It's hard for me with this, but we got to remember when he comes back to maybe lay off him. You know what I mean? Because everyone's going to want to know. It's going to be so hard. If you didn't see the updates, you want to know how he's doing and stuff. But when you see him, just talk to him about guns, or talk to him about music, or talk to him.
Try and talk to him about normal stuff, so he
Yeah.
doesn't have to spend as much time dwelling on some of the.
Yeah, 'cause
Right.
he's going to have to say the same thing.
It's so tough.
A million times
Yeah.
over.
Marianne just chimed in here. Apparently, he told his mom today that he wants to volunteer to help burn victims.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me in the least, right?
Yeah. That definitely speaks to his character.
Yeah. He cares about other people. He wants to make sure that when they're experiencing what he's experiencing now, that they have somebody there with them that's been through it that can, kind of help them.
There's some type of it's like the Phoenix Society or something like that, and it's like people that have, risen from the ashes, basically, and he was like, I fuck with that. He's like, that's cool,
That is cool.
planning out his new tattoos, I'm sure already.
It's a secret society of motivational speakers.
Yes. You've heard about the Masons. Wait until you heard.
The Order of the Phoenix. Right,
I read that book.
yeah, that's something completely different.
Oh,
Brian, what else you got, buddy?
Just
Said
another quick
one or
comment
two
from
more.
Marianne there saying that his mental outlook is much different. So sounds like
Yeah.
good things there.
Perfect.
The last question we've had, which has been hanging for a while, was from Anthony. And probably be our last one for the night, because we're coming up on 9 o'clock.
Nice.
2 hours straight.
About 2 hours.
So the last one is current status of the 3D printed ghost gun in the communist state of New York. And what do people do if they do end up becoming illegal that are already owned?
If it's time to hide them, it's time to use them.
Yeah.
If you want to follow that bill specifically, though, go to the New York State Senate website and type in Jose Webster Act, and then turn the notifications on for it.
Yeah. Nothing's happened technically as of yet. It's still
Still
working
an
its way
assembly or
through
whatever.
committees or whatever. Yeah. But if you're not familiar with it, they want to make it so that only manufacturers can manufacture firearms. Whereas right now, you have the right to just make it, as long as you're not selling them. Not that you can never sell it, but as long as you are not habitually making a gun and selling it, making a gun and selling it, you can make your own firearms completely legally. A lot of people do it, and I would highly encourage you to do it that way. But yeah, that is a law they're trying to, of course, chip away every little bit, every little thing they can do to chip away our freedoms, And again, like we've always said before, all that is a attempt to disenfranchise lower income gun owners. It's
Just
really
put a
all it is.
financial barrier out there
Yep.
to make it more expensive to own guns.
Because that is the cheapest way to do it, is to build it yourself, to do an 80%er, and do it that way, and they're just trying to make it so that you can't. And yeah, absolutely crazy. And really nothing we could say as far as if that law passes. I don't know no one knows really what the mechanism will be. Probably a lot like what the SAFE Act was. You can maybe potentially register them. There'll be some type of grandfathering, maybe not. I don't know. And if you have one, you'll have a certain amount of time to register it or dispose of it. And then after that time, if you're caught with it, who knows? And I don't know, again, with the grandfathering, say it's a handgun and you build it today and you register it. I mean, the clerks don't necessarily know that that's a home built, Because you're gonna put like Kimball Arms or something on there for the manufacturer to get it on your permit. They're not gonna know who that is, or it's such a gray area. People ask us all the time. How do you get a gun that you've made onto your permit? And it's such a hassle. You effectively have to sell it to us, and then we sell it
back to you.
To you, really. That's one, because so few clerks understand that that's possible. If you just go to the clerk's office with a piece of paper that you wrote, and you're like, yeah, I built this gun, put this on my permit, they're going to look at you, like, you're from another planet. So it's tough. It's legal, but that's a good question. So I hate to say we don't really know. It's up in the air. So cool. Well, that was a great stream tonight, guys. Yeah, I thought that went really well. We didn't get to talk about this handgun. Maybe we can tease it for next time. We finally, we ordered this thing, like 2 years ago?
I was just looking, what is that?
I'm really not sure why there's a...
It's to lighten it up. It's too heavy.
Oh, it's okay.
Maybe it's some weird...
Steyr A2?
Yeah, that's
M9A3,
the...
right? No, this is the A2. You're correct. Yep.
MF. Such a cool looking... I don't think any of us have shot it yet, right? So we don't really know how it
grip
shoots.
angle is just so aesthetically pleasing.
Very comfortable to hold.
Like ergonomic
If
AF.
you look at the way I'm trying to find, Brian, can you just step back a little bit? I don't want to be muzzling you. I'm trying to find a way to illustrate the way that this gun sits in my hand. Yeah, do the Vickers thing. Yep. Because I used to do this, so now I got to do this. All right, so yeah, but you can see the grip angle of my hand relative to this gun is my hand is so
Very
high
natural.
up on this gun. Yeah, it's a very natural grip angle, and I just feel like I would have so much control over the recoil impulse of this pistol. But time will tell.
Now they're changeable too. What do you think about those sights? That's kind of the other unique,
I love
at
those
least from the
sights.
factory.
I think they're kind of neat. I like how they come to a point here.
Sure.
I'm
And I
big fan.
It's hard without shooting it. We haven't
Right.
really had any time.
It seems like it would be very precise in
Yeah.
terms of point of aim, point
That's
of
what I was
impact.
thinking.
But
I'm a triangle fan. I like triangles. What can I say?
It's a great shape. But again, I don't know what stand they look like Glock. But if you don't like them, put something different on there.
Yeah, I'm not sure whose dovetail that
Maybe
is.
H&K.
Actually, yeah, no, the front does not look.
HK or maybe even SIG.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure whose sights are compatible with this gun, if anybody else's. But yeah, it is a pretty neat looking handgun.
There's
And,
not much I would change to it other than night sights.
And the trigger on it is pretty short in terms
like
of
the
travel.
trigger, yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice gun.
Almost no travel in that trigger, really.
I'm finna shoot it.
Yeah.
Fixing-
I'm fixing to
Fixing
round to that at
to
some
shoot
point.
it maybe tomorrow.
It'll
Yeah.
be fun. It'll be fun. You get one round. You get one shot.
That's
$5.
fair. Based on the
Yeah.
current cost of it, that's fair.
Make it count.
Oh man. All right. Well, hey, thank you everybody. Have a great night.
Love you guys.
What are we doing next week? Because next week's Thanksgiving, isn't it? So we doing a
No,
stream
it
at
is,
all?
yeah.
Probably not, right? We'll probably take a
Probably
break.
not.
So you might not see us here for a couple weeks. So please have a great Thanksgiving. Keep
No more than 10 people.
keep it safe. Like keep your shades drawn. Keep your
If we did one Wednesday night, nobody would watch because everybody'd be partying.
Yeah, everybody out drinking.
Yeah.
That's what we
Well,
should be doing, realistically.
Can't past 10 now, though.
Seriously.
Can't go to the bars past 10.
TFP
Thanks, Cuomo.
speakeasy coming soon.
Yeah.
Push that button to the counter. All the guns will turn around. Yeah. Be a bar.
Swing music playing up in
All bullet bourbon.
Nice.
We only serve bullet bourbon.
All right. Okay. We'll make it happen.
All right, have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see ya.